go live now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. We're live.
The end of another era, Stuart. The end of the lower decks time. Now is the furthest away from the next lower decks time. And that is sad.
It's true.
Don't think we're going to see... I don't know, obviously, but I don't know if we're going to see a sovereign anytime soon. I suppose Picard maybe. I guess in a hero way.
Yeah. Well, we got a sovereign with the Van Sitters.
We got a
Still
new
nice.
old new ship. We got a new old new ship.
Still annoys me they named the ship after Van Sitters. But...
No, it doesn't. It's fine. They named one after Sulu and her and stuff. It's all fine.
Yeah, those are fine, but Van Sitters, really?
Just means he's very famous in the
At least
world.
it wasn't
of
the
Star
Kurtzman.
Trek. See, or the Abrams.
The Abrams is a good name for a ship, though.
But JJ, come on, don't give him credit.
Many things.
Yeah, but anyway, wow, what a side note to start off with. Hi, Stuart. How you doing today?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm tired than I want to be. My sleeping patterns got even worse. I'm looking forward to a reset at some point, but here I am. But it's annoying. You go to bed late, you wake up late, you're still tired at the same time you were tired last time, which you'd think you'd be more awake because you went to bed later. Can't win.
Unless Jericho John Van Sitters. He's
Yes, we know.
big uppity up in CBS. So.
Yep, met him several times.
I don't even know exactly what he does, but
Very important things. He's had several promotions since Trekyards been a thing. He was a mere important person when he started. Now he's a very important person after several promotions.
there you go.
Okay, finally got Premiere sorted. Jesus Christ. It does not like getting 1700 frames. It is not a fan. I remember once seeing like 3,500 and I was like, Super.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Season finale.
Yes.
Season 3 is wrapped.
Yeah, of course, go watch our editor review, which is our first... it's our first detailed reaction, then you did your first discussion reaction, and I've both watched it again, had time to mull it over, etc. We go check that out as well, and I will go share. See you in a second.
Yeah. Hit that like button, guys. 28 people here with 29 likes. That's pretty good. But new people are coming in, so hit like and check out the join option. There's a join option to help us on a monthly basis, or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards to do that as well. Really appreciate that. If you want to send a PayPal, shoot it to trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in the regular chat that you sent that, and we'll read your comment or question via the email. So, he's the vice president of Trek brand rec development. Oh, yeah. VP of merchandising. I think he used to be merchandising, but he's not anymore. But anyway, yes, and check the links down below. There are links to the Trekyards Teespring and TeePublic store. Got some really cool stuff there, so check it out. Get a shirt, get a mug, get something cool, and we'd like to know that you guys are interested in our merchandise because we've got some really good stuff. So yeah, and all the regular things. Share the video and just like all the videos, super chat, super thanks. You know the deal, guys. But yeah, hitting like is very important. So if you can do that, that's great. Yeah. Matt said he's watched it twice. I watched it again. I've watched it 4 times now. Seventh rule, that was a great time. What is the 7th rule, Matt?
Also, Facebook's down, so I can't post on Facebook.
Facebook's down?
Yes.
Oh, well.
So I'll post on that a little bit later. Got it on Twitter, though. So, yay!
Yay. SGS Guru. Well, we got some super chats. Patrick James, $10.
Thank you.
I've not contributed for a while, so here is a little help out. Thank you so much.
That helps. Thank you.
A little means a lot.
And we hope you're still watching if you're not contributing. Because we do this for you guys to enjoy all the time while we're here.
SGS Guru 2000 throws in €10. Great episode about working class struggles and the Federation of
Mm.
Essential Workers forming a union to resist losing their jobs to automation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hammer and sickle. Wow. Damn. Yeah.
If only they'd taken this lesson and not employed all of the data clones, could have saved a whole second day uprising only a few years later.
Mm-hmm. Ray Ricks.
Hey, Ray.
£10.
Thank you.
Have to say, even though the episode was fine on first watch, was a little underwhelmed and didn't really pay off the whole crew turning on Mariner in such dramatic fashion. Better on second watch. Most of these are better on second watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Mariner thing was wrapped up very quickly at the end, and not to my satisfaction 100%, but hey, it's all good.
Well, and not just that, but I mean, the entire crew going against her was more of a, oh yeah, she was bad, bye. Like, it was so minimal. It was good music and good scene, but really, they're going to forget about it in a few minutes because they've been mean to Mariner over 5 years. I mean, you know, it was a non-thing, really, when you break it down, which is weird. They always crammed in too many storylines, the time length. Because if you think about a normal episode of Star Trek at 45-ish minutes, they crammed way more story in these 24 minutes than you would in a 45.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Ambitious.
But we got the return of the old cliche, the Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, I guess.
But was he bad? Or was he just destroyed by his own hubris? His own bloody hubris. His own crappy hubris.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Oh, that, yes.
I wondered if one of those admirals, like the old lady talking, was actually Admiral Clancy.
Well, someone said, why no Admiral Janeway? Should have been a pretty quirky reference if she'd been there.
Yes, would have been neat.
I mean, you obviously don't actually hire Kate Mulgrew, you just show Janeway.
Yeah.
I don't actually mean having
sit in there. She doesn't have to say anything.
No. Although, obviously, just like with the Californias, like these are the admirals that are on site and make sense in the meetings. Obviously, way more than the admirals. So, like, it's a nice moment to say all the California classes appeared, but they're kind of out in the galaxy doing things. I mean, we've already established that their max safe speed is 8, warp 8, which is well slower than like the good ships. So them being able to get to them, they had to be so close to the station to respond to that distress signal. I mean, you're talking like already en route level of close, and at the same time, meaning there was a fleet. All 50 were as a fleet, or were they all converging? Like, it's basically impossible for them to have done what they just did in the way they did it.
Like I said, it would have been better if there's one line of dialogue from the admiral saying, "We agree with Bonamigo. We are actually recalling all the Cali classes. They're on their way back for decommissioning." Boom. Then it would make sense they were all on their way there.
Yep.
So,
yeah, that was a. It works better when you have a single ship coming to the rescue because they can be anywhere. But literally,
well, he did say that. He did say the Titan. It's on the other side of the sector or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a weird old moment when it's like, but why are they all there?
One thing I didn't like was people were complaining about the copy and paste fleet. This is just another copy and paste fleet. Why aren't you guys complaining about it? It's not, though. All the Cali classes ships are different. They all look different. They have different hull markings.
Who said that?
It was mentioned like 3 times on my first reaction live last night.
Right.
And I was just like, never even crossed my mind because that's not the case at all.
Is it because they're bitter?
Maybe.
Are they annoyed that we like lower decks? Because, I mean, yes, in the purest sense of the word, yes, of course we should be annoyed. But also, ships do look alike. You can have 10 of the same ship. That's not the problem. Obviously, there's other problems with that sequence besides, and they were all painted differently, as you say. I mean, not all differently, but they all felt a bit different. They even made huge points of showing radically different ones that even looked significantly worse, I think, than the Cerritos, because they could, as they should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Patrick James, though, throws in $20. Awesome. Star Trek across all storylines in every series has no one overarching warning. What? Has one overarching warning. Never trust AI. Right. What about Data, though?
Maybe he's not true sentient, then, is what he's saying.
Ooh. Or not true artificial intelligence. He's just intelligence. Oh my goodness.
Are you
Anyway,
having twists? Is this happening? Twists and turns, Stuart?
no, not at all. Not at all.
So, Stuart, what do you think of Lower Decks Season 3, Episode 10? And how do you feel, importantly, on a second, third, fourth, whatever viewing you're on right now?
I've seen it 4 times now, and super enjoyed it. It was a good finale, but like I've said a few times, and a few other people have mentioned since, it feels like it could be a series finale with the kind of the closure that it was, almost tying in stuff from like all 3 seasons. But very good, actually. Lots of action. I think the pacing was fantastic. I did like Buen Amigo being a bad guy. I think he did a very good job with that, and he got what was coming to him. So that's all good. It was just good. You saw the Sovereign class come in. You saw some ship-on-ship battle, which is amazing. So there's a lot to like here. Like I said, the Mariner stuff wrapped up a little quickly, but the her and Petra stuff was cool. I kind of like that. She suspected something nefarious going on, and it turned out that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I mean, you got the conclusion to the Rutherford thing, which is neat. I love how Rutherford's like, are you keeping your implant? It's like, oh, well, I forget exactly what he said. It caused lots of deaths and was whatever, but it's so cool. I'm still seeing, and it goes through all the modes, like the X-ray and stuff. One guy had 2 spines, I noticed, in the X-ray thing. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I think everybody kind of got something to do, at least. I love Ransom's teaching people how to sit down with authority, the Riker maneuver. That's pretty great. Some nice little nuggets like that. And I thought it was a good episode and a good season finale. It's not the best season finale for Lower Decks, but it's still really good and was quite satisfying, I thought. So there's my quick wrap up. How about you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely better on second viewing, which we've both already said in this live, but that's mostly because Lower Decks has already achieved like 9s and going on 10s. They've achieved an almost perfect Star Trek episode, right? So I expect them to do really amazing things, especially the last couple. So I went in with both this and the last one with really high expectations. I couldn't help it, but they've created that as a vibe. Neither episode has reached the expectations I had for them, and so both I left being like, that was okay. Second viewing, the expectations are far, far, far lower to what am I given, let's just have fun. You can enjoy it for what it is rather than what it could be, which is not amazing. And certainly if this was the franchise ender, I'd be disappointed because it was okay. It's fine, as in for Lower Decks Forever ending. But what it does well. As a 2-part, it's very good. The Titans, the Texases are given a lot of meaty killness. Buen Amigo is a good balance of a fun. You don't want to dislike him, even though he caused the pain of the people, but not deliberately. It's a well played whatever, and obviously the joke about rank is funny. We won't go into it yet. But as I said in another review, it's very predictable in that we know they're going to rebel, we know they're going to fight them. He's possibly going to die. And there's a lot of that sort of stuff going on. So it was kind of more by the books than they're used to doing. And as I said last time, the idea of the fleet showing up has been every single season. So you're obviously waiting for a fleet to show up. There's no moment of what's going to happen. It's like, well, a fleet's going to show up, or a ship, or a rescue, either a Titan or you know what I mean? Something like that's going to happen. So that wasn't a reveal in any way. It was nice. And as an animator, I know how that many weapons is to animate. That sucks. Therefore, well done for doing it. I wish there was a bit more other overarching stuff, because it feels weirdly... It's very focused on its main plot. It doesn't really give... I mean, it sort of gives Boyman something to do, it sort of gives Tendi something to do, but they're so fleeting, it's more just we need to give them a thing. And the Shrek stuff certainly feels a bit odd the first time round. The second time it's like, oh, they give him a nice little thing. It works better second time round, I think, for sure. So, definitely the weakest of the 3 finales, but I think they're going for a more low-key season this season. The whole season feels less ambitious in general and more set-up-y. But they sub a lot of stuff this week. They really progress the Mariner, sort of skipping that last step. But I guess you don't always need her life to go up with a bang, in that yeah, I thought Out of Stuff would be better. I was teased that way. Oh, no, it wasn't. I'll come back. Like, that was so low-key, it was very unmarinary, and that might be the internal joke of she didn't need this grand standing speech. No, she prefers Starfleet. Like, that's kind of sweet in a sense. And it leads on to, like I say, season 4. So, yeah. There you go. So I enjoy it more, say, next time around. But I definitely hope season 4 will be better. So.
Yeah. I mean, there was like three to four, maybe 5 episodes this season that were just kind of meh.
Mm-hmm.
So the season as a whole wasn't as good as the other seasons, but these last couple, I think, have really made up for it. I think they're really...
Yeah, they're really up the average, yeah.
Yeah. Flavius V. Flantina, or Flanta, throws in 25... I don't know the currency, I apologize.
Let me Google. Thanks so much.
Good evening. Final episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks was fine. 8.5 out of 10. Is it true that we are going to get a Janeway TV show after the final season of Picard? No, there's no confirmation on that.
Oh, it's Romanian Lou. Hi from Romania.
Yeah.
Well, we know that Kate's in talks, but also, if you recall, EMH Rob Picardo was confirmed, like he signed a contract for Picard season 3 or whatever, or and then that might not have happened, etc. We don't know. So actors sometimes do things, say things get cut, or are going to be in things, and you always have conversations. I'm sure. I mean, Shatner was in conversation to be in this season, wasn't he? Rather than Sulu, didn't work out. He was in conversation to be in Enterprise, didn't work out. So Mulgrew being in conversations is just as those were. You know, it's just she felt confident to say it to try and create some buzz, which is fair. Yeah, I'm sure she'd love a double paid check in that year. You know,
yeah.
And it's funny, she resented Voyager a little bit for taking such a time from her kids, because she was doing extremely long hours. I mean, you would be shocked how many hours they did. They really, really cared.
Plus, 16, 18 hours sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fair on anybody. But now she's older, her kids are all gone. She could, in theory, put that life back in and do a full-time show again. I mean, she's done it for other things, although, you know, not as a main lead, I don't think. But, you know, she's kind of now over the kid bit, so she can come back and...
yeah.
But, I mean, hey, Jeremy would be cool.
Simon Uphill, 20
Thank you.
euros. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Hey, fellas, I love
Bye.
this finale to end a very enjoyable season, especially the little dig at the Picard Season 1 finale by having a fleet of all the same type ships. Any idea when Prodigy Season 1 Part 2 is released on Sky Showtime in Europe? No idea.
Never. Disney, Paramount Plus.
Or Crave here in Canada.
Yeah, never. Don't expect it. The whole point of them getting Paramount Ever is that it's everywhere. So either buy that or don't buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that, yeah, well, I didn't think it at the time because maybe I was being too innocent. It definitely does feel like a dig at the end of Picard saying, well, we can do it and it'll work.
Yeah, we can do it and do it well. Exactly.
Which is a weird thing to do, but it's like, yeah, they did. It was better. And there
they've had digs at Discovery and Kelvin and all that stuff during all of that. So.
Yeah, we can do it better. We know we can. Oh, we did it better. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yep. And SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Thanks so much.
Anyway, you got to see the Alito's torpedo launchers, the ship-fired torpedoes in Series Episode 2. Also, cluster torpedoes, how vicious. Yes. We have an episode coming out about a more detailed breakdown of the Alito now that we've seen the Texas class more in action.
Mm-hmm.
So we did one last weekend, and there's another one this weekend, which is a follow-up one. So check that out.
Please do.
And it did launch regular photons as well at the station. So
yeah,
just want to put that out as well. So.
Yes. Yeah.
And Ray Ricks, £5. The look on Talin's face was priceless. The Vulcan version of "What have I got myself into?" Good buddy for Kendi. Yeah. She's so rambunctious and such a pain in the ass that they had to kick her off the Vulcan ship.
Yes.
She'll cause trouble in this regard, I'm sure.
I mean, she was definitely a highlight moment of the season, of the end of the episode. That was definitely like a yes, we're moving towards that. Yeah. Good, excellent. And Simon says Paramount Plus is discontinued in the Nordics, with Showtime replacing it. Now, do you mean as in it failed in its month or two and it's been replaced, or they got bought out rights-wise? Because that is weird. God, they're not the same company. That's really weird.
Don't know. I don't know much about that kind of stuff, so sorry, guys.
So you don't know about international distribution rights, Stuart? Jeez. What use are you then?
I haven't brushed up on
What's the point of being a captain who doesn't know international distribution rights?
Because I know stellar distribution rights, which is more important. I know which solar systems are getting this. I don't know planet by planet, country by country.
That's fair.
That's getting too minutiae.
Well, where does Cygnus get its Flutter Prodigy?
Perma Plus. You asked. I
did.
answered.
Yep. That was a thing. That was a thing. That was a thing we did. Yes.
SPS Guru, 2,020 euros.
Ah, dude.
I'll also say that somehow Lord X becoming more serious and less comedic actually works for me, unlike Orville, where it didn't. Might be because Lord X characters are better defined and not just delivery vehicles for jokes. That is not Orville, though, either. Those are very good characters as well.
Well, I mean, Bortus, he just became a joke machine by the end. Isaac, sometimes just joke machine.
Yeah.
The rest of them I wouldn't necessarily say, but definitely Bortus is just a joke machine.
I disagree.
Oh, and Scott Grimes, the other guy, he was definitely just about the sandwich and stuff. For the most part, on average.
Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
I am EC, $20.
Dude,
wow.
So you guys are epic today.
All the beam phasers you can drink. It was glorious. I want to see one of those versus a Defiant class, though.
Its power level certainly was a bit like, really? 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 Sovereign, eh?
And Olivia May Julius throws in $5.
A surname now, goodness.
Oh my god, it's Samuel. Hi, Samuel. I missed you, Samuel. I'm saying Samuel so much, Samuel. I'm using all my 150 letters, Samuel. Oh, Samuel. Go, Samuel.
And how does she know I was having a bad day and that really... Boy, the pep talk like that, for anyone's day would be better. Oh my god, it's Jericho. Sorry, as another question for you, Stuart. Where can you find Prodigy at Omicron Persei 8? I can see why that would be an important note, just to briefly interrupt.
Paramount of Alpha Omega, I believe is called there.
They couldn't get plus then, could they?
No. Plus means something completely different on Omicron Persei 8, so they had to get rid of the plus because it was offensive.
Makes sense. No, that makes sense. Yeah. And you get the reference, don't you?
To what?
Omicron Persei 8?
Yes.
What is it?
You tell me.
Futurama. They got old TV and then had to steal people. That was great.
SVS Guru, 2,005 euros.
Thank you.
And Talin is finally here, and Tendi is all over her. New ship dropping out of warp, and Mariner went straight for hug with Boimler.
That is true. I did notice that as well. Yeah, that was nice. That was very full on, as it should be. The not so subtle line about the longer he's away from the ship, the more insane he gets. I was like, oh, Boims, your brain has gone to mush.
Yeah,
they're a bit codependent. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
because he helps bring her down, crazy factor, and she helps bring him up, and he needs to be more oomph to be noticed for promotions and such. So I think that's fair. Yes. Damn.
73 people here with 50 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get to 75.
Oh, do a poll.
Do a poll, and then we'll get into this. Anyway, yeah, I mean, glad you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you will enjoy a review of it and discussion. We want you guys to chime in with anything you guys can think of that you want us to talk about, anything you noticed or we missed. By all means, let us know. And keep in mind that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing my first reaction to Prodigy Episode 11, Season 1, Asylum. And then Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will do our full breakdown and review of that. So, and there's lots of great content coming out this weekend as well.
Yes, we have got, as Prodigy now started, an exclusive interview with Aaron Walkie on Sunday. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the interview yet, but it's really interesting. I know we were there, but it was interesting.
It was there.
to listen again. Full information. You can tell he's not holding anything back except spoilers. Like, he is happy to go through all the details, and he's a really, really good guy to talk to. And you'll learn some stuff about the Prodigy team. Lots of interviews with him coming. He was very gracious to give us a whole chunk of time. So they'll be every Sunday for a bit. Don't know how they're going to be split up, but the first one was split up quite nicely. So yeah, tune in for those. And please even watch. We'd love to encourage more guests to come back on the channel. Like, the Heyman brothers from Prodigy, my man, to come back, obviously. And Terry Metalis of Picard, of course. Stuart, what's the poll?
Poll is, which season had the best last episode? Season 1, it's the Titan. Season 2, Cerritos getting naked. Season 3, the Cylons wanted to say hello. Nice.
I'm quite proud of my joke.
Vote on the poll, guys.
I'm quite proud of my joke answer, I think.
I'm glad you are.
And I was like, how can I make Stuart say the funniest version of that word? Yep, naked. You've said it that way before.
Naked. Oh, yeah. Olivia Julius throws in $5. The Trekyards class is being decommissioned and being replaced by the Julius class by the order of President Olivia Julius.
Yeah, well, can't really argue with that, can we, honestly? Unless President Lawrence countermands the order.
And President Ozzy. And all the other presidents.
So until that, yes, that sucks for us. But there is a way around this, guys. Do not fear, we'll not be decommissioned for long.
We'll do a race.
Yeah.
We'll see how President Olivia, or how the Julius class can deliver reviews and stuff. And then we'll talk.
They'll forfeit pretty quickly. So Stuart, we start off with an actual reuse. They got to have a few seconds of money, Stuart, with a season 1 shot, the first shot I believe the entire show, and you can tell it looks a bit naff compared to how the detail level we are now. They didn't even get the proportions right at the station, but they do better later on. I love the it's nice to show the contrast. It's like they've got better, and this random ship we never saw, top piece. Yes, we start this episode where we started the first episode, Douglas Station. So a bit of we haven't been back since, I think. So a bit of symmetry, which is part of why you're feeling the end of the franchise, because we're ending in where we began.
Mm-hmm. And the Cerritos is undergoing repairs. You see work bees and stuff, which is really cool. And you got Ransom's vlog where he's talking about the Cerritos took a pounding. Now we're taking a pounding in the media.
Yeah.
For basically having this issue with the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so Captain Freeman is at a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about Project Swing By.
I'd like to know how far Douglas Station is, because she warps in between Earth and Douglas Station many times this episode. I think like more than once. I guess it's weighted. I guess it's getting repaired though, so I guess the time jump makes sense. But it's just fine to think they come from Earth back to there and back to Earth and back to there. It's like, but that's like could be a 2 or 3 day trip, and then back. Because she goes back after the failure of the experiment. Oh no, says Douglas. Okay. Yeah, anyway, just note. But yeah, great recreation of Starfleet Command. You'll see more later. And yes, Star Trek 6 is back, sort of.
Yeah. The conference room, or the war room, as Samuel called it once.
Okay, did I? Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which is cool. I mean, it's the same tables, the same desk lamps. Chairs are different. We got a big view screen now instead of just 3 deltas. Mm-hmm. But I really think it works. Mm-hmm. I love seeing the Alito class on the screen there.
Yep.
And you get the little M5 display in the bottom corner.
Not at all subtle and damn beautiful.
Which we make a joke of might now be the M20, because later when we see the view screen of the Texas class, there's like 4 of those.
And that would have been a good joke by itself.
It would have
Look, Captain, it's my M20. There's 4 of them. It's so much more powerful. Yes, I can tell. You named it 4 times.
Yeah. What they're talking about, how the Texas class is superior, and the argument is they haven't even been tested yet. But then the stupidest thing happens. One amigo suggests that the Cerritos class be decommissioned, or shuttered, as it were, and the Alito class take up second mission, or second contact missions, which makes no sense at all for an automated ship to be doing second contact. So that was right away kind of something that annoyed me. That the admirals went, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. No face to face, just the automated ship. So that bugged me a little bit. But hey, even Freeman's like, but humans have spent, or Starfleet was founded for a way to get us to advance to the stars. It would undo centuries of progress. But of course, the admirals are admirals, and they take his advice, and they shutter the California class. And that's all before the opening title sequence. So, damn.
Yeah, it's a hella bold welcome to the episode. I mean, literally, as you're reeling from all these information, it's like, oh, we're gonna kill the class. It's like, What?
Yeah, there's many more manned ships out there. We don't need the California. What the hell kind of logic is that?
Also, Rouge, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unusual start. As we know, it's not gonna get cut down, but yeah, just the internal logic is a bit nonsensical. It's very nonsensical. In fact, yes, it would be fantastic as a resupply vessel. We see that it's fast. You can, I guess, keep stuff in the transporter pattern buffer. I guess they had to have done. I mean, the thing was too big to be inside the ship, so it had to be. Great, fantastic. But I don't think anyone's gonna want. I mean, you can't even do a landing party. So second contact normally sometimes implies tech that doesn't quite connect to ours. So to assume they can universal translate via ship, I know it's a daft idea. I mean, it does, based on the guy's context later, it does feel like the guy's making a pure excuse. He's like, it works, we can use it for this, therefore let's do that. This is the first opportunity, because he's trying to make a name for himself, even though it's entirely not fitted. Really, given its phases on the tip of the primary hull, and its main phases, and its recessed 12 torpedo launchers, which can fire both photon and split fire. This is a bloody warship. This is a war drone. This is a tactical meat house. It's not a second contact hello there. Because if it's replacing a low tier, barely capable ship with a high tier, yeah. What?
Yeah, it's definitely has other better purposes or uses than for, second contact. So.
Like any other purpose ever.
Yeah. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Good to see you, Mark. Trekyards class will be saved from decommission and will go extended refits to bring them up to flagship capability.
Damn, high five!
That's president that I love.
Perfect.
And Olivia throws in $5. Did you know you can make the Trekyards crew say anything? For example, Samuel is a pretty princess wearing a pretty pink princess dress.
Just under the camera. Just.
He's wearing the skirt with no panties, I'm sure.
What?
On that note, yeah. Then we get the conversation with them in the hallway where she's like, I can make decisions better than any AI, and the Texas class will save lives. Well, the California's already doing that. And I don't want my crew finding out until this is settled. Which leads to...
It's very fair. Let's not tell them. Let's not cat out the bag. Let's be very careful. Let's be...
Yeah. And then Boimler is... Hans just told me that the Philosian and Tactical's girlfriend's Vedic heard that Starfleet Command is shuttering the Cali class. Replacing with drones. It's like, holy shit. Word gets around, apparently.
No, when I heard Vedic, I just smiled. It's like, okay. I see you, Lower Decks. Bajoran, I like it. Yeah.
Metallica fan 1442 throws in £5.
Thank you.
Thanks for the live stream. Well, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the viewership, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Those things make not all. Yeah.
Hit like. Everybody hit like.
Yes.
We got 82 people and 62 likes.
We'll set a goal then, Stuart. Let them know.
80 likes. I want to get to 80 likes.
I mean, maybe we could say more. Maybe if you encourage it, if you challenge them more, they'll do more. I'm just saying.
They can't even get to 80. I dare them to get to 80.
Ooh. So you went past the challenge into the double donkey dip dare.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's fair. Double donkey.
Wouter 215 throws in €24. Has Starfleet recovered from the Dominion War by this point? If they still need crew, phasing out the California class for AI ships to fill crew on the other more capable ships would make sense. The Admiralty to consider.
Good
yeah,
point.
but they mention later that it would put so many of them out of just scatter them to the winds essentially. So I don't know, man. I don't think that's the case.
I mean, what does recovered mean? You know,
Exactly.
They probably won't have built up to the amount of ships they had pre-war. There's all these criteria. I mean, the fact they're doing exploration stuff means at least the mentality's recovered, which is great, because that's what they're doing. Second contacting, the first contacts only made with exploration. I mean, that's a smart play to say, yes, you take out these huge, yet undercrewed ships, as we've seen by the idea of them having, crew corridors. But, I mean, I don't know, there's not really a lack of people, I wouldn't think. Maybe, no. But I don't know. I wouldn't undo any ship. I would just have a new class doing new things. Like, border survey. I mean, do you really need a ship to manually go across the border of the neutral zone? Like, these things are perfect. Maybe they can be hacked, but it has a quick response. 24/7 monitoring, quick response.
Were you selling home security now?
I don't know. But it's,
They make good support. They make good support vessels for any kind of battle situation.
Oh god, yeah. Can you imagine send a medical ship in? You got 3 of these as backup. I mean, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. I like the parallel between Freeman and the Admiral. Both projects, Swing By and the Texas class, were vanity projects to further their careers. I never considered that.
That's great.
You're absolutely right.
Which is amazing how quick they throw Swing By under the bus, and that's never going to be mentioned again. The way they frame that is like, failure, gone, move on. Yeah. That's great.
Which is a shame, because it's a good idea.
But Freeman didn't obviously go as far as Admiral. She pushed her crew to be tidy for the reporter, but she wasn't being as dramatic. But yeah, she was saying for years as well. That's a great point. Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional or just a happenstance to the story. Huh.
Don't know. I didn't even consider it. Super chat.
Nice.
So. SVS Guru 2000 throws in €10.
So many things to say. Goodness.
As for the Texas class not being suitable for second contact missions, that is often the nature of automation. Robots being forced into places where they don't really work just because, look, robot. You think that would terrify a lot of first contact civilizations to have an automated ship or even robots?
It depends what it does, though. None of the ones we saw were true second contact missions. The fact that the pig people were Season 1's people, so that was literally a resupply. We never got that. That's why I say it'd be great as a resupply. Or even the research facility generator. If you could, as they did, just warp to a new planet that we've got a colony ship on its way, we can push a ship faster, warp in less time because it's smaller with less G-force problems. Get to a planet, set up the facility, and be done with it before they even arrive. There's purposes for the ship for sure. Yeah.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Boom.
For example, that robot in Poland that tried to awkwardly shove a sausage into a bun and failing miserably. First time hearing about that, but sounds interesting.
Okay. Speaking of hot dogs, sausages, Prodigy. But no, it's true. Yeah. But I actually really like this scene because you finally learn the name of the towel guy. One of the great mysteries of all the seasons.
And he's never wrong, so...
What's his name, Stuart?
Hans.
So I found odd in the framing the sentence that, who's that? Hans. Oh, the guy that's never wrong. What? How do you always listen to him but not know his name? He also lives in your corridor. Like, you can't have both things be true really at the same time, because Tendi would know everybody. I feel like she would know everyone's name.
Yeah.
But I appreciate in second viewing a lot more this works, because I was sort of ignoring Rutherford here, thinking, because he's looking at the schematics of the ship, right?
I was too the first time, yeah.
Exactly, and it plays the first time like he's being Rutherford, we're giving him something to do. But knowing what he says later that he actually helped prototype this back, I suppose, 10 years ago? Yeah, about 10, 15, maybe. Yeah, 10-ish years. Even though he deleted the knowledge of his old self, which clearly didn't happen, basically reactivates it, so that's a story for later on. But that's currently buried much deeper. So he has a personal interest in artificially controlled ships, and it comes out here because he's actually like, wow, it's beautiful and amazing. So I love that tie in the second time. It's entirely lost the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's way better on a second viewing for sure. I love how Tenny gives him shit. Stop being impressed with the thing that's stealing our jobs.
I mean, that's interesting social commentary. It is somewhat true to automation, but some jobs should never be roboted, really.
Yeah. Wonder what the bridge crew is doing. Bet you Tiana's freaking out. Then does Ransom. Get in my private gym. I might move back to Barcelona. Then goes on.
What about Hawaii? Thought from Hawaii.
What's that?
Thought from Hawaii.
I love Shax's though. I talk about profits more than a Ferengi. That's good. Yes. What poor Shax comes in and is all upset and I just wanted help with my phaser. Anyone runs away screaming or crying. Poor Boimler.
No, I thought the impressions were really good.
Yeah, they were.
I thought they had so much fun.
Very.
And that's obviously just the actor doing them. And I was in. This is again a better and second watch because Boimler has said he wants a bridge buddy. He doesn't feel like he can do his job without having that direct, intimate connection with someone on the bridge. We assume to be Ransom because we assume to be Ransom, but the fact that Strax is coming down to get phaser repaired is a weird thing to do anyway to these guys, and he sort of implies it's to Boimler. But Boimler's been on the bridge a lot more this season, so there's a thread here that's so small. But once you see it again, you're like, oh, okay, I see a line. And obviously he made his connection with Rutherford in Season 1, which he still got, but he's not his bridge officer. He has his officer, it's the Chief Engineering, who's actually a higher rank. So it all kind of works better.
I gotta go back and rewatch the other seasons, because I know he said it at least once or twice, eject the warp core.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to count how many times now, because I really didn't put together that it was a thing that he said all the time.
No, me either. Like I remember him saying, can I shoot them? Like fire weapons. I wouldn't have associated. Must have been at least twice or 3 times. Did you guys pick up on that as a joke? I mean, it's a great thing to do, but I didn't think much of it. And guys, keep voting in the poll. We'd love to get 80 votes before we do a new one.
Speaking of 80, we still have not hit the 80 likes. I told you they couldn't do it.
Oh,
we're 5 away. See?
Yes. But speaking of 5 away, he almost has. He's just 1 comment away from losing his best friend, bridge officer. So he runs after him.
Yeah. And then there's the comment of how the longer Mariner's gone, the more he loses it.
Yes.
What's Mariner up to? She must be miserable. And you hear laughing and ha ha. And we get Indiana Jones in space.
And I was waiting for this, obviously. It was teased in the trailer. Which is nice, actually, because normally, and you've pointed this out a billion times, they tend to only finish the first couple for a trailer. But this was in the trailer, and if it was in episode 10, did they animate the entire season before the trailer came out? Maybe. If they're working on season 4, it's in their best interest to finish season 3 and on season 4 already. So, BS is Indiana Marinering.
Being chased by Ferengi.
Mm-hmm.
And mocking them the whole time. Dumb grave robbers.
It's a reasonably good scene. I mean, it's impressive they can keep up with her, because they do keep up with her pretty much. She's not that much better than them, these professional people. And also we get a Star Trek 6 fire while beaming reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, should they steal a Klingon icon?
Yeah.
Well, they say later they stole it from grave diggers or something.
Grave robbers.
Yeah.
I assume the Ferengi went in to get it, and they swiped it before the Ferengi could. And liberated it, I guess, because they would have sold it for profit, where they donate it to museums.
Wait, donate to the profits or for profit? Because always about profits, Stu. I don't know which to think about.
Shax. SBS Guru 2,000, €5. I love that Shax is this grizzled warrior, but still can be made to cry so easily. Some of the biggest, toughest, scariest looking people are the biggest, softest, kindest teddy bears. Like my friend Jay, he looks terrifying and intimidating, but he's like, I make fun of him all the time because he's just a big teddy bear. So, yeah.
No, I agree. They've definitely pushed him in that direction as the seasons have gone on, and it's really nice to see. Every time he lets his guard down, it's quite rewarding. That time he punched the engineer and then cries on his shoulder. Like it's a nice moment, even though it's silly. Yeah, they did a good job. But he had to be a massive terrorist in the war. He's allowed to be a crybaby now and just be friendly and happy. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
SPS grew 2,005 euros.
There you go.
Maybe they get prioritized certain scenes and told the team, hey, we want this. This is the scene for this trailer. Can you do those first?
Yeah.
Possibly. Plus, as we said, some of the episodes in this season were just filler and really didn't have much going on. So they're not exciting enough to put in a trailer because there was more dialogue than action.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, you are right. They definitely have storyboards for the entire season before they get going. They definitely would. It's just interesting that this is the last episode of the season, which is quite unusual for this sort of thing. But they are... Oh, yeah, she questions about, this is great what we're doing here, but, how are we funding this? And I like the archaeologist's rebuttal of, well, what the hell do you know? You've lived that money your entire life.
Yeah.
You don't know what things cost.
How cute, pretending you know about how money works.
Which is a fair reference. I mean, she has lived more than other people, but, knowing how much Saurian brandy costs at DS9 versus knowing what Industrial Replicator costs at Zentak 4, they're different scales. It is a situation where I don't know why she doesn't just say, well, do you want to know a secret? Yeah, I do. Admiral Picard. She could just tell her. Don't know why it's a secret.
Yeah.
It's for drama, but it's like it would have been fine to have said it now. Like in hindsight, you're like, oh, it's just for a bit of suspense. It isn't really there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But back at Starfleet HQ, we got the whole... I realized that she's not keen on losing her command, so I'm going to offer her promotion. Fleet captain of the entire Texas class. She's like, I don't want a stuffy desk job, but the uniform has 4 epaulets. It's like, oh my god.
Now, I'll be honest, when I saw this originally, I thought they were labels, like pointing and data underneath them. So I was looking for the lines of the thing. I did not see they're actually actual.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's terrible. But she will get Admiral. I mean, it's still a real job promotion, but my god, that's terrible. Is he mocking her though? Because he is a family friend.
So.
Okay.
I think he is. But yeah, she suggests a mission race. And he's like, she's begging to prove her obsolescence. Cool. We'll do it.
And Bill asks, when's the crossover episode happening? Probably in March? February or March?
I'd say March, which kind of sucks for us, if you didn't know what I mean.
No, yeah.
But February 16th is when Picard comes back.
Okay, so I thought it was earlier than that, yeah. Yeah.
They might do Picard, Discovery, then Strange New Worlds.
We can hope. That'd be really good for us if they did.
Yeah. Then we get the whole conversation about what is this? What is a mission race? I made it up on the spot. Basically, we're going to be doing multi-planet mission, timed and judged, repairs, outposts install, and resupply. Oh man, we can do that in our sleep. Sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun idea, and it's only a low-dexable idea.
Yeah.
Which is
we're
sweet.
not just fighting for our ship; we're fighting for the entire Cali class fleet. So,
but you absolutely need a line in the last sequence. This is the moment where the Admiral's this mission, and when the Admiral says, "Well, the entire Cali class is on its way here. You only have 4 days until decommissioning ceremony." And we would have forgotten it. You would have That's the moment.
Alex A, $5 might have been said, but episode title "The Stars at Night" is a reference to the lyrics to "Deep in the Heart of Texas," as in Texas class. It's a clever deep cut. Yeah, because both Sam and myself wondered that. I got the answer last night on my first reaction review, because as soon as I asked about that, everybody, it's a song. Okay, wow, relax. Didn't know that. Got it now. Cool. But thank you.
Yeah, when we did our review, I actually edited it out because it wasn't that funny. But I'd said, "Name doesn't really fit, does it, Stuart?" And you're like, "Nope." Doesn't mean anything to us. I was like, yeah, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they don't always need to mean things, but it does. Good.
Yeah. Sean T, $5. Just got here. Pew pew pew. What a great ship battle sequence.
That's true.
Love the destruction. Hashtag California greater than Texas. Yeah, the whole Texas versus California thing was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I zone in so much as I'm with ships. That's funny. And yeah, space battles, they're definitely good. Well, I mean, vicious, I would say, more than good. I mean, there was some pretty... Yeah.
SPS Guru 2000, €5. But where is "I will burn your heart in fire" from? Well, that's Buen Amigo's voice.
It is, yeah.
Every time the Alito says it. So...
But without that fun, lyrical, over-the-top he has.
Yeah.
Which is a nice it's a nice contrast. Speaking of nice contrast, Stuart, engineering, I love Billups. He's definitely one of the best recurrings. You know, calls out data, whatever. And you see his goddamn beautiful MSD, which is so unnecessary. I mean, that itself could take 2 or 3 days of work by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there and it's beautiful and it's good. It's good.
Yeah. And we'll be in an episode, our second part of the Texas class coming up. So, and then we get sick bay. Tiana's freaking out. And I love how she says, I didn't spend 7 years, 7 effing years on a goddamn Oberth to get knocked down to station physician. So she served on an Oberth class. Worth pointing that out.
I did not catch it first time. I was thrilled second time when I heard that. I was like, yay!
Yeah.
No one ever says Oberth anyway. Like, even as a word, what does it even mean? You know. So, guys, one more vote in the poll, and I can close out.
Then we get ransom. How to sit. Cross your leg over the back of and slam it down. Command that chair.
They're not in the bridge.
No, they're not.
I assume they were, but and then when they go out into the corridor, I'm like, there's a corridor on the bridge. Okay.
And the security office.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, they're all the red shirts because you have all the blue, and that's cute. You have all the golds, you have all the reds, and all the blues. That's cute. Yeah, I didn't notice that. So, which of the three did you like better? Of the preparing for ultimateness.
Ransoms.
Okay. I like Tiana's
like
most.
Phillips was good. You know, we were doing Galaxy class engineering here today, folks. I want to see those isolated chips blur data. Yeah,
that was good. I think I like Tiana just because she just owns every scene when she swears, and that one in particular felt so genuine. But yeah, he goes and talks to, clearly on the job. He says, "Don't interrupt me." Oh
yeah, I respect you and all Bajorans. Also, we're all the same. Get away from me. I need to concentrate on the mission. And he cries as he walks away.
So hard. But it works better second time. You know it's going somewhere, like, truly. But I asked for 80, and I got 80. So I said, which season has the best last episode? Poll has turned out very interesting. A small win at 40% is season 1, with 31% season 3, and 30% season 2. So a very even split, Stuart. Fascinating. Very cool.
Very fascinating. Fascinating. He's going to make another poll now. We hit our 80 likes. Thank you, guys. You did it. I'm so proud of you. But I would like 17 more likes. I want to get to 100 likes. I think that's the goal we always go for these lives. At least get 100 likes. So if you have not hit that like button, give it a tap. SPS Guru 2000 throws in €5. I wonder if Tiana uses that whip for anything else.
Yes.
It's a riding crop.
Yes.
Not a whip. So yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Shax has felt the sting, I'm sure.
And the...
Yeah. So the new poll is,
yes.
Did you predict the AI Texas class would go rogue and attack? Yes or no?
Yes. But Bill asks, even though Trekyards has played Prodigy's video game, have we played the mobile Lower X game?
Samuel has been playing that.
Yes.
I played it for like 10 minutes and gave up. Because it's kind of crap. But I did a complete playthrough. It's on the channel of the Prodigy game. So.
What I like about the Lodex game is that it's kind of a little cheat sheet for us. For the most part, my amazing artist friend who did our avatars, I've helped her design the different eras. And, there's a certain mold to work in, but it's been really great. But they pop up occasionally in the Lodex game in the animated style, so we can use this as baseline. So all the TMP stuff examples. There's been a TOS guy finally, Stuart. So there's now got that as an example. And while I wouldn't call it necessarily Lodex canon, it's sort of if you want to say replicate this, because a lot of the when you pay an artist to do a commission, a lot of it is also the time, and if they're having to R&D it and it takes a day or two versus replicate this, I mean save them hours, saves you dollars. So I've enjoyed the game. It doesn't take much thought, but it's somewhat satisfying. And I don't know if you we probably didn't notice this, but there's a Klingon area that gets you money, and depending on which mission and what day, there's either TOS, TNG, or Discovery Klingons running it. All three.
That's great.
Yep. Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Ayamisi throws in $20.
Yes.
There was a moment when the Alito at first refused the order to destroy the Cerritos that I thought they would flip it and the AI would go good instead of rogue. Yeah, it kind of paused for a second. Which, yeah, because it doesn't make much sense. Oh, Captain Freeman got jealous, and so she's decided to attack the Alito. That's just dumb.
My only note, I somewhat agree, but I didn't think that. My only note,
I did for a brief second first watch through.
My equivalent was I thought it was going to be the voice was going to change and be Badgie or Peanut Hamper, one of the AIs, and say, "Nave, let me in. I can take control," and the voice just swap.
I can't do that, buen amigo.
Yeah. So that I thought something might have happened. Well, I didn't quite note until this last time, but and this shows the vibe. The class is literally hovering like 4 foot from the it's insane. It's insane in one. We'll find it when we get there. But I love that as a super reference to the daddy issues. Like he wants to be close to his dad, and it's really like.
Well, I think it's the other way around, because at that point he was still in control of them. And
there's something coming.
You and I, if we both designed a starship and we had an office facing out to space, it would be parked right there, like, just so we could keep an eye on it and go, look how beautiful that. Come on now.
I don't know how. Maybe.
I would.
When we get in
Wouldn't have to park
Starfleet,
that close because it'd be a much bigger ship. But
when we get in Starfleet, Stuart, we'll be able to work it out.
I'd be like, I would constantly message over to the ship. Can you like rotate like 30 degrees to the port? Okay, now use the RCS thrusters and tip the back end up. Okay, that's a good angle.
No, you should have it do orthographic rotations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grant McGregor, $5.
Thank you, Rod.
$2.50 for you guys now. I know we said that at the beginning before we started recording. The first thing I said was, "Well, shit, now I don't get $250."
Yep.
But how about a bet? Grant's all about the bets. He did like issued 2 last night as well. Bet for $100. A Texas class survived the episode. Will it be called the Lone Star? That would be good. That would be the name of the episode, the Lone Star. It'd be like one of the AIs survived and infected another ship or something.
I would just say choreographed that it's going to be this. They're going to either have an unfinished one or another one that'll be taken over by the other AIs. That it'll come back in some form. It's being set up to be this great threat, but not quite yet.
I think it's going to tie into the Badgie, Peanut Hamper, Agamus, and Borg. I think that's going to be season 4.
Yeah, yeah. It fits in really well, and this is the example of like you don't have 2 seasons. Let's set up gently.
Yeah,
like that's great. But yeah, they start their space race vibe bigger than I thought, based on the shot. Way bigger than I thought, because the Cerritos is huge and it flies right up, and the way the parallax goes, it feels like it's relatively beside it. I don't know.
Yeah, like that's a great shot of them side by side. And even the Admiral's looking at the view screen, the shot of them from behind. Just, it's beautiful seeing these ships together.
Yeah, I like his office too. A lot of wasted space.
And then, on my mark, warp me.
5. Ooh. I love his little box screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like their want, because warp is such a big deal this episode, to give them the warp streak, like a proper streak, every single time. It really adds a little flair. And yeah, what a cheeky man to cigar smoke. And you don't like him at this point. He is transitioned into he sucks vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give him a head start.
Yep.
SPS Guru, 2,000, €5. Oh, look at those beautiful Camford engines on the Cerritos struts. Looks so much better.
But yeah, they go back to a first season planet. I believe it was the second or third time planet. So they have been clever. In fairness, to do so much, they reused a lot this episode.
Yes,
which is totally fine. Like the planet that Mariner goes to with the archaeologist is a previous used planet with previous used scenes. So I fully approve. It's all good. And as you said,
they're not only using the Star Trek canon, they're also using their own canon very well.
They've got loads now. Yeah, because they keep being expansive. And, it, as you said, it creates this weird cyclical vibe of we're back to where we started at the end, maybe. It's interesting.
And yes, Zango76, we pointed that out many times, it is the M5 interface, yes, from the Ultimate Computer.
And also to note that these pig creature chaps, they have made it out into the galaxy since their second contact, because one was in the mud bath spa, so good to see them back.
Yep.
But I love the go, 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 go! I wish we'd one reaction shot them being like... Because I wish we'd had a cutaway, but I get we're going fast, but I would like to have seen their reaction. But that's okay.
Yeah. So let me get a shot of the view screen of the Alito. And you see not only the M5 interface, like the lights on the view screen, and the one in Buenamigo's office, but you get the little round with the light behind them, 1960s look. And this is where I made the joke initially. The original one was the M5 with one of them. This must be the M20 because there's 4.
Yeah.
And enough time has passed. They keep trying this damn M project.
I mean, it obviously is a derivation. It's obviously, this isn't just a visual reference. This is, there is some evolution here. And in fairness, and actually I'm just thinking this now, follow me, and this I'll have to bring it with Mike as well, if this was their thought process. So, M5 failed experiment in TOS, which is only about 100 and something years. It's not, it's 100, let's say 110 years, right? Well, when Rutherford was in the academy, that's when he helped design this stuff, which would have been 10 years back. So let's say a flat 100 since they whatever. That Rutherford was very much risk taker, super risk taker. So I could very much see him saying, the Admiral wants this, he's taken me as an engineer, I have this idea, let's open up this old code file of the M5, take a deep dive, let's use that as the baseline, I'll redevelop it, boom.
It's like using proto matter in the Genesis Matrix.
Yeah.
It's the only way to solve certain problems, just go for it.
And I suppose the M5 did have daddy issues, didn't it? Because it took on the power of its creator. If you want to be very literal, I mean, it's kind of did.
Yeah.
So while it is very Badgie-esque, I think it really is an M5 descendant, and the literal reference is real. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. And Matt Boardman throws in $5 and says, there are 4 lights. Yes, indeed. I love the screaming to get the new scanner, and Rutherford's scrolling through the code.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this power plant just drops in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite impressive looking compared to the one that they're building.
Yeah, it's very sleek and minimalist. I mean, it's and yet that darker, meaner look, it achieves all those same things at the same time. But I really want to know how long they generally took. The pacing implies minutes, but I would assume many hours each. Because they have to assemble this. I mean, look, they've got every planet. They always have crates, so they're assembling this stuff. They're not. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm assuming even days. Well, also you have to warp between planets. So this is presumably like a week operation.
I'd say hours. Hours.
But they picked 4 planets that happen to be next to each other.
Yeah. Never got the sense it was more than a day.
But it'd have to be a day at least just to do the missions. You'd think. Alright, sorry.
Yeah, that's where it falls apart a little bit when you look too much into it. Ray Ricks, £2. Why does an automated ship need a view screen? Oh, I see. There's livable spaces on these ships for maintenance and for trial runs and all that stuff. So.
Well, there is. Yeah, in our episode with the MSD, you do see several zones of space. So I'd assume this is the view screen for that. I would assume for all the test runs, like genuine first run, they'd have people aboard to monitor. They just don't happen to now.
SPS Guru 2000, €2. The same reason the Terminator needed a heads-up display. Exactly. To tell us, the viewers, what's happening.
There you go. One super chat cancelled out by the other.
And I love how she's so shocked that it can beam down prefabricated modules. She's like, "Oh shit, we got to move."
I guess she didn't read the manual at all. She didn't have any brief.
Yeah.
I love the graphic on the Master Systems display. That's great of the multi-finish line. That's cool.
Yeah, the race graphics are great.
Yeah. And they go to Unknown Planet. But they're winning slightly. They're winning because they give them a head start, though, which sort of takes the sting out of her words already, which is kind of fun. Yeah. And you have this really quite great, very Mars-like construction, and it hard left turns to no, Stuart, we can't just do the thing because there may be life.
Yep, microscopic signs of life in the soil. So they have to stop, and I love this. Make a what is it called? Oh, self-awareness assessment, which I thought was really neat. That and yeah, the Alito comes in, beams down this thing, and warps right away. Anyway, but yeah, Freeman doesn't really bat an eye. She's kind of like, "We'll make it quick. We just lost our lead." Like they don't go, "Just skip it, let's go." So they do still do their jobs properly. So
this tonally was so hard to get right. So I'm thrilled they got it right. There's that instant shit, but they all swap into no. Our job is now this, and you don't ever get the sense that they're rushing this part, like doing a bad job. They're going quickly, but they're not rushing. Like I love the vibe here. It's very as it should be.
The ugly bags of mostly water did good.
Work. Yeah. No, it's
SPS Guru 2000 throws in €5. Love the contrast between the Cerritos soft and friendly generator, the Alito's dark, old and angular generator design. Oh, absolutely,
yeah. I also like that in theory they could have ordered in this long shot all of the crew to beam up, like let's go. But they know that if there is life here, they either have to deconstruct the station then and there, or deal with the life form. So they're saying, everyone wait, you might have to deconstruct now. So I like that as a small vibe. And they probably lost, like I said, hours.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't...
Well, you see Tiana doing her scan, and she's like, it's fine. We can go.
Yeah.
And Tendi apologizes, and she said, and Tiana's like, no,
Shut
it's
up.
a multiphasic charge. It confuses the shit out of the tricorders.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
Then they go to Augmentic 9, which for me holds a special fun because we have, in the fan film community, have done twice now. I've been involved in doing Out of Phase Planet. Once for a Trek Shorts, one for Intrepid Film. And so it was really fun to see that re-shown and kind of the new vibe. Because it is kind of I always feel daft when I include one because it's like such a trope. But what else is a trope, Stuart?
Is ads. Let's do an ad right now.
Segue.
Oh, that was really good, that ad. Wow. I feel so much better having watched it.
So what do you think of this scene? This, for some reason, overly slow and take your time and left field. How did you feel about this scene?
I didn't like it, honestly.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. Like, she's like, don't embarrass me. I just want to see the ship. It'll be in orbit. It'll be a tiny little speck. You won't see it at all. Just silly. Wasn't needed at all. But I love how she even, like, he's like, hey, next time send out a replicator. And she's like, thank you so much for the supplies. We really appreciate it. And he cuts her off just to be an idiot. Why are you like this?
It's a weird scene for a few reasons. They're not obviously warp capable, so how have they prime directed? They're obviously not time leaping because, as in, like, time isn't going faster than because they're still medieval. I don't know why but they know Starfleet's there, so they're not waiting for more time. They're living out a phase. They have pads. I don't get it. It's a weird scene. But I like the idea that obviously every other version of the scenario there'd be a crew that would beam down and say hello. I assume that would have played in some way. Maybe if he had said, I can't wait to meet the crew and maybe get off this planet, and she's like, no, I won't let you go. Oh, there's no one here. Oh, bye. Like there wasn't really a joke here in the meaningful way. I was expecting something a bit more linked to the robot, but it was just kind of oh, okay. It was weird.
Yeah, it wasn't needed, and this was like the worst part of the episode for me.
There was better ways I could have done this scene. I don't know why they're not warp capable. Like, it doesn't make sense anyway. It's weird. No,
SBS
offshore
Guru.
species are good. That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
SBS, yeah, they probably crashed on this planet. It phased out. Starfleet discovered them, and it's like, oh shit, you guys need help. So,
But you would think once you have tech, you're not necessarily going to build mud huts and basic clothing. Looks like a peasant. Like if you've already built advanced tech, you're not actually going to wear peasant clothes necessarily. But
no, unless they want to.
If they want to.
Part of their...
Sure.
SBS Guru 2,005 euros. I also like that the Cerritos didn't lose because they made a mistake, but because the Alito made a mistake, he got an unfair lead. Yeah.
Well, they failed because they didn't make a mistake. Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, they arrived just to the nick of we lost. and weirdly, like the episode's on such a pace at this point, it dead stops of like, what do we do now? Which is how the episode is meant to play. It's a weird shift.
Well, we get evil Badmiral laugh.
Brad Amigo. Yeah. And then we end up back on Cerritos, and everyone feels it. Everyone's saying this is the end of the Cerritos, this is the end of the California class. It does kind of mean they're all going to get assigned to newer, possibly better ships, but that's okay. And they're laughing.
Yeah. And Tendy's like, I can't believe I defended the life of dirt. Or sorry, not my inert dust, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's Prime Directive. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Back me up here, Rutherford. And then Freeman overhears him and goes, yes, you're absolutely right, and runs off. That's the answer. Wow, that was weird, but I'll take it. So she contacts Buon Amigo. I don't know why she'd contact him and not the other admirals, so let them know and have them take care of contacting him. But
well, because they've been family friends for a long time, she can trust him, right? She can trust him. But I love the little moment of they each pull a pad up.
Yep.
Because it isn't holograms, it isn't instant data transfer. It's they each have padded the same data. I like that. It's very grounded. It's very real. Very real track.
Yeah, and she says your little toy totally ignored it. And he's like, oh, stop. This is a rounding error.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
And
back at the bar, Rutherford figures it out that it's his code or his AI. And back when he coded it when he was the old me. So, got another flashback to that episode.
Which was meant to be purged and gone. Deleted. Yep. Just saying. And you get the reveal of TNG, much younger. Looks great in the uniform, though.
Lieutenant Commander Buon Amigo.
Yes. I will say
so he went from Lieutenant... Oh, you're going to say it.
Oh, you yours first.
He went from Lieutenant Commander to Admiral in,
15
10 years.
Yeah.
And Rutherford went from Cadet to Ensign in 10 years. Rutherford's giving Kerry Kim a run for his money, I think.
Yeah.
A little inconsistency, but hey.
Well, especially as... Yeah, I thought he'd be a captain at least. I was surprised he was the rank he was. Especially as it's explicitly said he is using the Texas program to get ahead. So he didn't get his promotion because of that. He had to earn captain, then admiral.
But you can surmise that he did some shady shit to get his promotion.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like he turned when he went admiral, though.
That's what he says. Once I hit admiral, I hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
But could have just been lucky.
Yeah, I definitely thought he'd be a captain. Because he can be a captain for a long time. I mean, he could be a... Oh, wait, he's not even a commander. Yeah, why is he running...
He's Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah, why is he running a secret program at Lieutenant Commander? Secret, but Lieutenant Commander.
Also, where do you get the resources to build these 3 ships and get them powered and weaponized?
When he's an admiral. I mean, admirals can do stuff.
I know, but you still got to draw resources.
That's fine. Admirals.
It is fine.
Admirals can do stuff. Well, I mean, I'm sure. He also had approval from the council. It's not as if they're a secret. They just didn't know Freeman.
General Grievous, $5. If the planet phases out of reality, how does life exist without the weather? Without having the weather go crazy? Unless there is no sun, there is a sun or body to balance gravity. Well, there's the sun in the other dimension, the other phase area they go to, which they stay the majority of their time in.
Well, because you got to remember, there's out of phase universe or dimension. If you're a different universe, the sun would still be in the system unless it was blown up for some reason. Dimension, then the sun's rays may still be on that dimensional plane, just you can't see them physically or interact with them physically. But besides, the planet has evolved, and the life on it has evolved to be out of phase and in phase. So the fact they exist there, okay, yes, if they didn't evolve there, sure, but assuming they evolved there as a race, then they by definition have enough life-sustaining materials to evolve as life. But I was going to say, and I think you'll mirror this, that this, while amazing to see the TNG costume, and he looks great, and I hope we see more TNG costumes, it was a bit underwhelming as a reveal, because this was played huge in Season 1, like epicness, and it's good, but it feels just good. I know, share your thoughts, Stuart, because this in theory is one of the biggest reveals of the entire show.
It is, and especially considering the episode that kind of focused on this scene particularly was only like a few episodes ago. Yeah. It felt like a very quick, like, let's get this done so we can move on. I wish it would have dragged out a little longer, actually.
So you're asking for the Picard treatment?
In this case, yes, because it was well done.
Yeah.
Just sprinkled in. It wasn't focused on, you know. But yeah, it didn't bother me per se. It was a nice wrap up to the storyline. And I think there's still more to Rutherford's, what's going on, even who One Amigo was working for, because usually people are working for somebody else. He could be working for Section 31. We find that out later. There's still could be more to the story. So SPS Guru 2000 though throws in €2 and says, to be fair, in Star Trek Online you can hit Admiral in 2 days.
Shut up. But no, this yeah, it's. I think if they'd had the double Rutherford reveal in Season 2, so each season a level up would have been better. Or I kind of wish they'd had a scene an episode where Rutherford had to learn about the sequence via some like holodeck program, and they happened to be recording this for a documentary or like some level, and he had to walk into the room and see the scene from a third person versus just remembering it again. It just feels not easy, but yeah, you expressed it very well. It's okay. Because now we know.
But there still could be more to it as well. It could be much deeper.
But I don't care anymore as much. You know, the mystery is.
I know, but you might.
Sure. Sure. But I would like to have seen a flashback, honestly, of Cadet, him and Buenamigo, like on a, because the Titan Texas looks very advanced. It would have been super cool if they'd flashbacked to a TNG era version with much more rudimentary nacelles, kind of like like a younger version of the ship with them in their younger costumes. Would have been pretty cool. But anyway, they gotta go stop it. So he rushes to the captain. I love her.
Well, first he makes the revelation that it's the Badgie, the code he used for Badgie.
Yes.
And oh no, a starship can't have daddy issues.
That's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did think, of course, it's the Badgie code. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad they said it at least.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. But I love it when he walks in. He's like, Rutherford. It's like, shit. He wouldn't be here unless he knew. Shit. I'm scuppered.
Oh, I just realized I got to send you something.
Ooh.
Which you'll need for the end of this review.
Well, okay then. Well, all right then. But no, I liked this bit for sure. Running in, revealing it all. He's definitely scuppered, and he aggressively, because he can sort of save his reputation a little bit. It was all an accident, but he said, I wish I'd removed more than just your memories, and it gets real dark real quickly. And it's great.
Wish I'd erased you.
Yeah. And it's a great reverse shot where he laments that, look, you don't realise, Carol, once you hit Admiral, going higher than Admiral, it's very difficult, and I want to do better. Especially if he got Admiral quickly, which is the implied context of how quick he became captain to Admiral. He brick-walled it, and then hit a brick wall, and then... Because he's ambitious, he wants to do good things for the Federation. I mean, this ship is not a self-serving thing. The career might be, but when you get higher Admiralty, you'll then be able to do more things to help Federation. So I still sympathise with him to some extent. And then
but I don't understand why he set up Caro. because he's like, this is my plan all along. And she's like, wait, that means just...
Yes.
Yes, I set you up for negotiations on DS9 to fail. You stumbled through that. And the Breen, he knew about the Breen incursion. And it's like, that makes sense. But the DS9 stuff...
Well, the DS9 negotiations, fine, they'd be difficult. I get that, fine, sure. But...
Here, check your email.
Okie dokie.
I need that.
But it's...
So yeah, it would have been great if you mentioned that he worked with the Packlids as well to frame her for the construction of Packlid Planet. Like, why is he going after Freeman?
Well, no, that's the wrong way of looking at it. He knows her so well from being friends for decades. He knows her ship is so naff. He knows what's capable of that. He knows that he can put her in a situation to be rescued, and he can probably control it. Like he knows the variables enough with her to get the better. Which is why, as we said last week, why the hell is a Texas class literally next door? Because I'm sure there's one at DS9. Like, there was one nearby waiting for the moment. So it's more just, I know what she will do. Damn, she surprised me. Is more the vibe I think they're going for.
Could be. But I love how realizes he's got to take out Rutherford and Freeman now before they tell anybody. So he's like, I'll say you attacked the Alito out of anger.
Yep.
And you lost the race. It defended itself. What?
Slight escalation here.
And yeah, and then Alito, activate independent control. Powers up, turns red. I am now fully autonomous.
Yes, now is the beginning of the end for these characters.
Yep. Attack the Cerritos. Do you understand? I said attack the Cerritos. Don't take orders from you anymore, Father.
Sorry, I can't do that, Dave.
I will burn your heart in a fire.
Slightly repeated, but yes.
Oh, it's so brutal the way he gets like. You can actually see his skeleton when the phaser hits him too.
Oh yeah, here's the shot of it, literally next to the office, which is just phenomenal, and it gives you a good sense of scale as well. And I know they're about to destroy it, but I do like that we finally get to like fully confirm their office blocks.
Yes,
like
with little antennas on the top. I thought the whole things were antennas at one point, and it's like, no, it makes more sense to have it like this.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed this was it, but I really like the play of like, okay, that is the place. But yeah, I mean, his death is really well done, and there's a slightly better frame where you see his guts, but they go full on first season conspiracy it. Like they full on go gruesome for about 2 frames. And then we get real murdery AIs.
Well, General Grievous, speaking of murdery AIs, General Grievous super chats in $2.
Thank you.
Shouldn't Admiral have rank pips on both sides? Yeah, we've talked about this before too.
We have.
Yeah.
I wish they did.
I do too. We thought it might have been just a certain form of Admiral, like a lower ranking Admiral, but apparently they all have this in Nordex, so.
Yep.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Thank you.
He probably goes after Freeman because he is friends with her. And so she would be less likely to suspect something. Well, what a douchebag.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going after Samuel. I have a whole conspiracy to make him look bad and have him framed, thrown in jail for murder. But I really can't talk about that right now.
Yeah.
You can edit that part out because I don't want people to...
I could, but I won't.
Oh, damn.
You just did your own sentencing, Stuart. How'd you feel? I feel fine.
We see phaser turrets pop up on the station.
Yep.
And they get quickly destroyed.
I'm not sure how they get quickly destroyed.
I don't know either.
It's a little bit easy.
But the Alito activates the 2 other Texas classes, the USS Dallas and the USS Corpus Christi.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you knew Texas, that would mean more. And that's fine. I'm not really I don't live in America. I've heard of Corpus Christi, though.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you've heard of Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, So they start attacking the station, get some photons firing out of the photon launchers.
I do feel like I should totally nick these phaser turrets, though.
Do it.
Because they're ball turrets, but they're not. They're phaser strips.
Yep.
It's great.
The destruction here is palpable. Destroying the office towers. You see this one guy running through the hall. He gets hit by an explosion and thrown sideways. Like, totally dead.
Yeah, it's... I mean, you've also got to imagine that what we're seeing is a fraction. These phasers are ripping through the hull. So any near rooms that aren't having their environmental seal sealed. Imagine if there's a training seminar going on. They're all going. I mean, they probably killed several hundred people minimum, if not several thousand potentially. I am shocked though that A, it could take out the phaser turrets, but also this thing you would think could be armed to the teeth. It's a space dock level station. Yeah. And it's not as big, I'm sure, but it's. I don't. If one ship could entirely disable that station, they've fucked up. It shouldn't be able to. And there's not even any implication of it has command codes or there's nothing special implied. It's just it can do it.
Again, when he turned over automation to the ship Foley, and you saw the M5 do this and then turn red, it would have been great if there was a little line of dialogue at the bottom, like in the one corner of the display screen, saying deactivating station
security
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they'd show, because they already built a similar environment for the first episode where they watched the Cerritos fly away to Earth, that little pod thing. If they'd use that room as if they're in the space dock and say, you know, drinks a cup of tea and says, "What's this code?" and everything goes, "We lost power," or "Shields are down." Like it's fine, but yeah, just a bit weird. But yeah, gruesome, brutal. I don't like the fact that hard cuts to Mariner. I kind of
forgot about her at this point.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
But this is where she just uncovers that the whole thing is funded by Picard, Admiral Picard. She wanted it to be something nefarious so that she could have a reason to rejoin Starfleet.
What do you mean rejoin Starfleet, eh? Why'd you have to? She has such an accent in this episode. My God. Can't go more British.
Last time too.
Yeah, but they should talk. I think more in this one. But yeah, Admiral Picard's do it, which means he's now officially the Admiral 2 years after Nemesis. Which for me is a bit sad, because that tells you that as soon as he lost his Enterprise crew, he gave up being a captain. Like, he had enough. You know, his life really was his crew, which is, I guess, sweet in its own way, but it's like, oh, yeah.
Well, I also love that he's funding archaeological digs.
So. With what money, I guess, is the answer, but, you know, I guess as Admiral you can do stuff. But yeah, he made Admiral, made good. Did some cool stuff.
All the money he makes from trading his wine with the Ferengi and
maybe
planets. Come on now. And then they argue about whether they're going to go back to stop this bloodbath, and she's like, "Well, those are my friends. You served on the the Victory, so you know." And they're like, "All right, fine, let's go." But there's a tense moment where phaser is drawn on Mariner. And it's a weird phaser too. It's like the back half is Starfleet, but the front half is like heavily modified. Let's see. SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. Who knows? It was a surprise attack, and the shields weren't up. Same reason the Enterprise got effed up by Miranda. We are one big happy fleet.
No, I'm fine.
Texas class, our old friend.
I'm fine with the shields not being up. It's just that there should be more than 2 weapon turrets. There should be shuttles. There should be all sorts of response vehicles, because the thing clearly takes a few seconds of chaos. It isn't instant. But yes, I love the F. Did you say? You're insulting my archaeology. She takes it too personally. Which I find quite...
That's rude. That's even ruder.
Because I want to go out and do cool things to help people. It's good, but it shows that Mariner, needs that greater purpose of Starfleet. There isn't, and because you could tell she really vibed this job. No ifs, ands, or buts. This was like I could do this. Turns out no, she could do it. She doesn't want to do it. Yeah. It's surprising, in a good way.
But back to the action. The Van Sitters warps in. And it's a beautiful like shot of this Sovereign just like doing things. But it quickly gets effed up by the 3 Texas class. It doesn't get destroyed, which I appreciate. But we do see the new torpedoes, the purple ones that split, cluster torpedo or whatever they're going to be called.
I did call that there'd be more Sovereign to kind of justify the having a Sovereign model.
It doesn't even look like the same Sovereign model, though.
It does to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's very close. I mean, it's the vibe's all right. But I don't buy that 3 of them could take it out, honestly. I'm assuming it's not got a good captain. That'd be my only vibe. Because
Captain's name is John.
but not John Harriman. Because this, I mean, the Sovereigns are like top tier. Because this is not long after well, I guess Nemesis. Well, if it's got its Nemesis refit, it's top tier. I don't know. I mean, there is a certain implication that they fire on like the shield grid inside the secondary hull and take it out, as if maybe because they have schematics they're able to take it out. But I guess, but that's a bit of a stretch. But it does get taken out like a bit of a bitch. I will say that.
I'm glad it just doesn't get destroyed. You see it messed up, and then the 3 of them, the 3 ships take off.
Yeah.
Because
but I
Freeman says, I got the guy that has your code. He can destroy you. Like, I can? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can.
But I guess it's symbolic, though. We associate epic Star Trek-ness with a Sovereign, so you're able to kick bottom that way. But yes, I do like that. I like the other Rutherford in there. And then the robot once again says his catchphrase, because, I've got a second father. That's what he's thinking, that's what he's saying, and he's going to go cause some shit. And I like Freeman's approach. It's like, I am saving lives. I will probably get killed here, but I'm saving lives. That's the main thing. I do like that vibe. Although, as someone who has a lot of shots at warp... Sorry, good.
I was going to say, I like that she said at least they're not killing more civilians.
Yeah, but as someone who's done a lot of shots at warp, I don't like that they turned warp into a... It's now lighting the ships, the red, the green, the blue, and I know you want to make warp seem cool, but this looked like crap to me. We know what warp looks like. It doesn't like the ships at all. Stop. No. Bad show. Bad show.
Billups pushes the engines. Well, I'm not sure how much the struts can take, because they do say at warp 8 and holding.
Yep.
Because that's like the maximum, but
maximum safe,
pushes it, and you got the flare up, and then they just book it, and you see them like moving away from them. You'd assume that the Alito or the Texas class could go very fast, considering they don't have to worry about crews and initial dampeners and such. But
yeah, the implication is warp 8 is their like maximum safe, and they could like warp 9.2 or something, and the other guys seem to do the same thing, but they're just in no hurry. They're probably thinking, yes, burn yourselves out, gentle people, burn yourselves out. But they don't. I was expecting something that the struts to get blown up and be destroyed, so I'm kind of impressed they just didn't. And it was all.
You see like damage happening to the deflector and stuff, like almost like a wind shear on it.
Yeah, it's a great effect, but they didn't quite go kablooey. Which I was kind of like, okay, you're not gonna go full kablooey, okay.
Wouter 215 throws in £2.
Thank you.
€2, €250.
Thank you.
Wouldn't the warp field distort the phaser beams? Yes. Photons at warp, not so much. But it's fine. It's happened a few times in Trek.
Yes. It's one of those conceits of it can't happen till it does. Which isn't ideal for anything, but by the same token, it happened with Prometheus and the Nebula battle, so we know it can happen. I wish it didn't happen, especially as there's a lot of phases later. They could have done a torpedo battle, but it's okay. I mean, you would assume they have the most advanced phases of the fleet, so I will give them that. So of all the ships, it's like, yeah, they could, yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. She asked for options, and we got eject the warp core. We could drop out of warp and surprise attack. The AI doesn't get surprised. Can we rendezvous with the Titan? No, they're across the system. We could modify the diffractor dish and use it as a giant weapon. And then, is there something that we can use to trap them in a logic spiral? No, I safeguarded against paradoxes. So no, Kirk couldn't even take these guys out. Just saying.
Oh, okay. That's not what they said. You just made that up.
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. So I can't remember that scene.
Because Kirk has talked so many computers to death. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's definitely a good who's who of villain plans.
And Boimler yells, "Shut up and listen to Shax."
Yes.
But he always suggests that, wait a minute, that's brilliant. We'll use it as a mine.
Mm-hmm.
Won't we drop out of warp or be torn out of warp? Yeah, but it's better than being torn apart by photon torpedoes.
And even if you assuredly will die, you've still saved people in the process. So, yeah. The only thing I'll say about that is that it felt a bit disingenuous, the line, because 1 second earlier, she said they don't get surprised. And then you suggest a strategy that will surprise them. Which is it? Like, that's the plan you're suggesting, Captain. You just said it won't work. Because all they have to do is drop out of warp and they're fine. Like, that's it. That's the entire solution to the problem. So, it's a bit like, what are you smoking to say that and then ignore your own sentence?
What he meant by when Ransom said this drop out of warp and surprise attack, it was like go hide behind a planetoid or something and try to surprise them in a different way. Whereas when they're at that speed and the warp core, like, it's not a surprise so much as oh shit, there's no time to react.
But I feel like all we have to do is press the button of drop out of warp. I mean, these are also AIs that can react instantly. You don't think Data at the helm of a ship could respond enough to drop out of warp? I know what you're trying to say, but these aren't people. These are AI. They should be able to drop out of warp and save themselves. Which obviously, one does save themselves, but it's about a daft double comment to say back to back.
SVS Guru 2000 throws €5. Just like turning while at warp and not going to warp within a system or beaming while shields are up shouldn't be possible, but it's done anyway.
But mostly not.
For convenience sake, yes, sometimes. Yes. Megan Bruns, member for 6 months at the rank of Commander. Thank you very much, Megan. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Shax ejecting the warp core. He was so happy. Yes, this whole strut down the corridor. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Everybody cheering him on. And I love what the hell is the Temerian's name again? The security officer?
Kayshawn.
Why do I keep forgetting it? Kayshawn, yeah. Enoch on the night of his joining. But I waited forever to do this. Eject. Seeing a warp core ejection is always cool. Although the shot of it ejecting it is out of the pod, but it's a weird angle, so it looks like it's coming out of the saucer. And for a second I was like, wait, what? But later we see it getting put back into the pod, so it was just the way the camera was like, it was just a weird shot.
Yeah, I don't remember ever him saying the warp core, so it felt like an odd, like, wow, what a payoff for a thing that I didn't register. But I mean, this is where they can go truly satirical, and yet it's fine, it's fun, it's cute, and it shows you once again how ill-equipped the Cerritos is, because I mean, other ships can eject from the bridge, can't they? Or the warp core. Or is it because normally Picard eject the warp core, they do. That said, is it because they're giving the order to eject and B'Elanna is ejecting or whatever? Is that what's happening? Because I always assume they press the eject button from the bridge. That said, Nemesis they do, or Insurrection Geordie ejects it. So I guess you have to, but I always assume they just order the ejection from the bridge. Because having someone run down is like, really? Why does yeah?
That's a long way to run too, from the bridge to that pod.
Oh, to the left.
I know, but it's still a long.
It's the furthest way, yeah.
Yeah.
Just felt odd to have when hero ships don't need this sort of rigmarole, It
was a good moment.
But it did work.
Then again, it would have been nice if Freeman order the warp core, or engineering want the warp core ejected, and Shax be like, no, let me, and he runs out. A line like that would have been, because he wanted to have the moment,
Yeah. But yeah, it ejects, it flies, it kabooms. Very, very nice Cerritos phasing out of warp. With because you never see that. That's actually a new thing, I believe. I've always wondered. I just sort of try and... I did it once for a fan film, and I hated the effect because I had to like make it work. So I guess I did it first. But it's a hard effect. I like their visualization. It was cool. And then yeah,
SBS Guru 2000. Sorry, €5. Well, if they did it from the bridge, Shax couldn't have had his victory run.
I get it.
Know.
But they're all fine until nope. The Luto's here.
Survived the blast.
And it is torpedoing, and they hit, and it's trashed even further.
Those are massive hits too. Like it tears up the Cerritos.
Like people are dying in the saucer. They've lost a significant amount of their crew, because each of the petrol blasts are going to be a hull breach. Are going to be people dead.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is trashed again.
But I never thought I'd give this order. We got to abandon the ship. It's like, no, you don't. Mariner comes in.
And I was thinking, goody, her tiny little ship.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I love how the Alito's like threat level negligible.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But I brought help, and the Oakland warps in, and Captain Ramsey. And it's like, yay, we know her. But no, Freeman's like, get out of here. You're no match for this thing. Could be match for one that's been damaged in a warp core explosion, though. But anyway. Mariner's like, I know, right? I've called all of them. All of what? Do you want me to read them all off?
Yes!
The Alhambra, the San Diego, the San Clemente, the San Diego. Right, that one, right. The Sherman Oaks, the Vacaville, the Burbank, the Fresno, the Santa Monica, the San Jose, the Sacramento, Culver City, Anaheim, Riverside, Vallejo, West Covina, Pacific Palisades, Redding, Eureka, Mount Shasta. It's all of them, Captain. And then you get dude standing on his captain's chair, the Tellarite. Then we got the black guy from the Carlsbad that we saw in the other episode this season.
Yes. He's so young is the joke. And we finally get to see Captain. He got stabbed in the chest.
Yep.
That was fun.
See the alternate Cerritos crew,
which I still don't get, but okay. And it must be a gag on the Picard, because it is almost identical situation, but they should do way more cool things as well. It's just a better sequence by itself. The cinematography's good. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't. Well, the fact the ship can take like 13 phaser blasts at a time is insanity, but also that they sort of stop firing back. I would like to have seen a bit more, doing its thing. You do get the sense that it's searching for its version of the Cerritos to go back until it fires its torpedo, I suppose. But
it wants revenge on the Cerritos, at least.
Yeah.
Burn your heart in fire. It wants to take it out at least before it dies.
And now all those people that want to make their own 3D models of the blue and red versions, you have exactly how they look. Way more colour than our old girl, which only has the stripe and a bit on the secondary hull. These guys are all like fully decked out in colour.
A bit shot of the hulls from the top. Yeah.
Bit obnoxious though, for me, with that much colour. So I'm kind of glad they did less for our girl. But yes, it's a cool sequence. Lots of pew pews, all the pew pews in fact. And
Mariner takes out the torpedoes.
Yeah.
For the Cerritos.
And then we just get the breeder pulse phasers. Did point defense. So we just got 2 point defenses in 2 episodes.
Yep.
Although I buy it with this. Oh, actually, there's another different one. This California has red and black on the saucer, so they have another variation. Huh. That's interesting.
SBS Guru 2000, €5.
Thank you.
I think it is more of a reference to the TNG episode with all the countless alternate Enterprise Ds. Somebody asked last night if this was the first time on screen in canon that she sees so many of one class of ship, and I said yes. And somebody jumped in and said, what about parallels? And I'm like, no, well, that's all one ship. Those are all the Enterprise. That's different than all one class.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Well, technically, every time we saw the Defiant in the first season of DS9 was the entire class on screen.
Ha.
Funny. Thank you.
Look at this guy.
The Discovery, every time we see her for seasons
Prometheus.
1, 2, and 3, Yeah, I'm sure Prometheus had a second one because that's not well. There's three of them, but you know what I mean. But no, this is it's a fun sequence. It's a bit chaotic, obviously, but I mean they put all the effort into the phaser beams, the pew pews, and it gets blown to shit.
It was heading right for the Cerritos. It fired. I assume it was going to keep going on a trajectory to like suicide run it. Which would have been nice after it exploded. You see the Alito like hull piece do this. Would have been great if you seen it kind of like bounce off the Cerritos hull as a.
They'd had enough, Stuart. They'd had enough.
Ah well.
But yes, they win, and they're only slightly less damaged than previous seasons.
But the starbase is messed up.
And I do appreciate here that of all the times to get battered beyond belief, having 35 auxiliary ships, like a third of which are repair facilities, that's a great fleet to have there to help repair you. Like, these guys are going to be
exactly what I thought.
On point. But it is sad, though, because this is, like I said, how the season started with Douglas Station. Clearly a Cerritos, California relay point of some kind. Low-ranking station, low-ranking ships. And it does kind of work. Because the Cerritos has a sort of different silhouette from many angles. Because of its weird nature. It actually has different feels. The Jean Hay, like, it's just they were all the exact same. Like, it was shit because it was shit. This kind of, it has a bit more. That's why Parallels kind of worked, because the Enterprise weren't all just like lined up. They made an effort to do every variation of every angle. Yeah.
Way different and better feeling than the copy and paste feed from the card.
Yeah, it works better.
1,000 times better.
Trek view. I
love seeing the work bee flying and the three ships just sitting there. That was a nice shot as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this all is damage done by. That's a lot of damage to do by these ships. Oof. So many people got killed. It's horrible. Yeah.
Got the warp core going back in.
Yeah. Oh, which I wonder, is that the most detail we've seen these escape pods with, like.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember them being that detailed before.
General Grievous, $2. Many Bothans died to. Wait, wrong franchise.
Oh. Boo. Then we get her walking to the bar. I'm kind of surprised Jennifer didn't have a scene with Jennifer. It's already very well packed. I get it. Next season, because she has a lot to apologise for.
And Jennifer's sitting at a table too, talking to the Kinzinti guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, on the same team, aren't they? Team Go Command.
Yeah.
But yeah, she hugs Boimler. First thing, doesn't hug Jen. Hugs Boimler. Hugs Boims.
He apologizes for not standing up to her about the reporter thing. SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5 and says, yeah, this isn't the same as the Picard fleet. Here there is a thematic and story reason for it. It's deliberate. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, Django. So many people died. Let's have a party on the ship that had the most casualties. Well, I mean, you have is a few.
They also stopped a massive threat.
Yeah, they saved more lives than were killed. And is not a Waker party.
Ah, there you go.
So this is a wake is there to celebrate the dead. You don't want to be, like almost the best wakes, the ones that you can be so happy at, remembering the good times and with your family. So this is them celebrating that we all came together to solve this problem. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oliver Lavery Farag, member for 5 months, the rank of captain. Thank you so much, Captain.
Yeah. I'm
calling it. Badgie and Peanut Hamper team up in season 3. Peanut Hamper will get her revenge by finally putting in full day's work.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be Agamus, Peanut Hamper, and Badgie. Yeah, for sure.
You don't invent 3 AI vibing aliens, and in fairness, they probably will bring back the AI from this episode as well. Why wouldn't you?
In some form.
Yeah, in some form. Because you got 4 distinct AI versions to cause chaos. Oof. Yes. Now all we have to do is find Iceland chip of control. Bring him back into the fray.
No, we don't. I love how they ask Rutherford if he's going to keep his implant. He's like, it robbed me of my memories. And was used to cover up deadly crimes. But it's so cool. In true Rutherford's fashion. Yeah, see one guy has like 2 spinal columns.
Let's have a look. Ha!
Yeah.
That's great. Shit. That's creative. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the editing here of his darkness. But he's so chill. Yeah, I buy it. And it's like, what's he gonna do? Clearly, that was needed for him to function. So, what's he gonna do? Remove it and put in like a fake eye, and now he's half blind. It's like, yeah. Turn to a strength, you know.
SVS Guru 2000, €5. Look at Mariner squeezing right up Boimler's cheeks. Adorable.
Yeah. And it's nice to have a purely platonic vibe as well. Like, you know they're not going to date. That's not the implication. They can just be really close friends. But also, I asked, though, Stuart, a while ago, with 109 votes, did you predict the AI Texas class would go rogue and attack? 84% yes. Nice.
Nice. But we got the introduction of Tillin from the best episode of season 2.
Or maybe the entire show.
We Douche, whatever it was called. Yes, and of course Tendy's excited. She's got a new study buddy. So it'll be great to have her aboard. I wish she was aboard sooner, but hey, at least we got her here. So we get the Shax and Boimler makeup. He's like, you're in the bear pack now. I love Rutherford. Aw, baby bear. Or aw, bears.
Yeah, all these scenes are really nice. Tillin's fantastic. She looks great with a hairband. And not a real officer yet. She's got her... Because, I mean, she can't on Starfleet Academy in this time, so she's enlisted rather than actual officer. It's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We get the whole mom and daughter...
Hold on, I need to talk about the Shrax thing. You go back and...
Oh.
You went through it, honestly, my thoughts. Yeah, love the Shrax thing. Very satisfying. He's making more friends all the time. And, yeah, Rutherford's bear was just lovely, because, like, yeah, you're one of us. Yay.
Oh,
No.
Bears.
Yeah, that's lovely. Right, there you go.
Welder 215, €6. Any guess if the Klingon, Packlet, and Borg crew members from season 2, episode 9, Wait Pooch, will join the Cerritos? Like people,
maybe one each
maybe
season.
Maybe as exchange students or something.
Yeah, maybe each season. Yeah.
Then we get the mom and Mariner makeup thing, and it's like, hey, I kind of want to be in Starfleet now. And the mom apologizes for not trusting her, and she's like, well, it's because I gave you a lot of reason not to trust me over the years.
It's a great comment.
But
it's a great way of saying it.
And the mom's like, do you want to be captain someday? She's like, well, don't push your luck. But can I have Ransom train me? And I love, hey, Ransom, what is happening? No, please no. Why is this happening?
It's like the actor had 10 pages of dialogue and one amazing line he delivered perfectly. Yeah. That's how you come in and just win a scene.
General Grievous, $2. Looks like provisional Maquis rank from Voyager.
It does. I thought that too, but it can't be. So. But also, new poll strip.
Oh, new poll. Mm-hmm. Shit. What is the new poll? Which did you enjoy more this week, if you had to pick? Prodigy or Lower Decks? Okay, 36 votes. Those results are quite staggering. Anyway, anything to say about the Mariner mom thing?
I also find it funny that she starts out with her ex-girlfriend, implied ex-girlfriend, which in itself is kind of fun. But no, it's nice. It's very genuine. Mariner has turned this new leaf. She's going full on. Mum's finally seeing it, but all the vaccination's good. She wants to skip straight into the next step, and it's going to be a good next season. Paul Ransom.
And then the little speech of "We kicked Impossible's ass, Cali class, Cali class."
Yeah, we did good. We did good as the team.
Yeah, and then post-credit scene.
Yes,
which I didn't realize at first.
We both missed, Stuart, because they were really post-credit. Cause I did like zoom, and I was like, there's only 7 seconds
I did too,
left.
a little bit.
There can't be anything because it was like there's so little time. So I skipped past it without realizing. Oops. But yes,
back in the
thing happened.
Yeah, the Kala system.
Mm-hmm.
All that debris where Peanut Hamper was. Also, Rutherford's original implants is there.
Mm-hmm. And
you see a green tractor beam. Vroom. Grab it, and you see Badgie.
Yes. I'm trying to get the shots, but it's Being a little bit slow / crashing. Yay. But you guys saw it. You know what it was. Now, I've heard...
No, they didn't see it. This is something we have to show.
Okay, well, I'm...
Because most people missed it.
Okay.
I'll read the super chats while you're doing that.
Yeah.
SBS Guru, 2,000, €5.
Thank you.
Hard to beat a season finale. Lots of payoffs versus a lot of more setup. Exactly. And Patrick James throws in $50.
Oh, phenomenal.
Oh, you made Samuel. He says, "My joy over this show runneth over. Cannot wait for season 4. Whatever they do, I am sure I will enjoy it. But please give me 15 shows at least, maybe more." Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, you asked for 15, you gave us 50, so much appreciated. That goes a very long way, as you know. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, for sure. It's I mean, if any of the shows that should go 15 seasons, this should definitely be. I do hope it's the first to breach the 7-season mark. Like, let's hope it's not Discovery first, because that'd be super sad. Let's hope it's Lower Decks, because that deserves to be...
They'll push for Discovery to get that, though.
I think they will too, but...
But still, 7 seasons. Oh, if you go Discovery Season 8, we beat TNG and Deep Space Nine and Voyager. No, you didn't. There's only 10 episodes a season, you dumb bastards.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near the same.
Well, it's like when they say Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who, she lasted 5 years. Like, yeah, but only 3 seasons. Because they had huge breaks in between them. She had less episodes in more time than a normal Doctor would, so don't be super proud of yourself for that. It's just because you had huge delays. It took you longer to make a season. It's like, what? Yeah. But yeah, so it's one of the theories I've people said is that this is a Borg tractor beam. That they are hunting AI. Clearly, green is intentional.
Could be Romulan, though, as well.
Could be Romulan. I mean, it could be... well, no, Stuart. Romulans don't believe in AI, except when they do.
They do, and this is the reason that they... This will be the Kawat Malat. No.
Yes! Jat Vash.
No. The Jat Vash. Grabbing it for some nefarious reason.
Yeah, maybe this is how they found Soji. We'll have a Picard flash forward and see Badgie. Badgie's the one that was in the hood armor that fought Soji. That's why they were so shit. Yeah, no, this is could have been a lot more meaty as an end of season sting. I saw a Lara Boimler sequence. I thought that'd be a strong payoff, or some reveal. This is fine. It's okay, but again, we sort of know this is coming anyway, and without knowing who's picking them up, it's like, well, Tom found them. Okay. I do like how everything always goes back to the Packard fight, because that's when they became a meaningful big class planet ship, so I like that vibe for sure. But it's certainly whelming. It just means that he will be in next season. That's really what that says.
SVS Guru 2000, €10.
Thank you.
When Badgie returns, I'd love an inversion of the Peanut Hamper episode where Badgie seems to be evil all episode, but turns out he has turned good in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
General Grievous, $2. Romulans infected with androids. Romulans infected the androids with Badgie.
Not a bad idea. I mean, one of them will retcon Picard at some point. Thanks, Donnie.
All right, guys. This is the time of the day when we give our final reviews and scores. I want you to do the same. So super chat in with your final scores. We'd really appreciate that. Another 10 likes if possible. Get to 120 would be awesome. But yeah, super chat in your scores. I'll read those at the end. And if you just want to put your scores in regular chat, Samuel will read those when we're done. But
and not just that, but tomorrow we're doing our Drunk Yards retrospective of the entire season, which I think will be quite interesting to see how we continue to feel about the season. That'll be at unknown time, but during the day. I also believe I have a thing in the morning that I've not been confirmed about, but
it'll be around 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, probably. It's best time.
Yeah, something along that for sure. So look forward to that. I'm excited to rewatch some Lower Decks and see how the setups and payoffs paid off.
Before we get to our finals, though, Stephen Fathry throws in $10. Good to see you, man. I assume she has the Voyager-style provisional rank insignia because she was the equivalent of an ensign in the Vulcan Expeditionary Group, but not a real Starfleet ensign. exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't go through the academy, so she had to be some weird side rank. Yeah. It's just funny that she had it, as did the guy from Prodigy. We haven't seen that rank pip in a very long time, and two people having the same day.
Yeah. Grant McGregor, $10. I looked back at episode 7 of the holodeck version of the Cerritos. The several frames of the Vulcan science officer having her L-cars blow up shares Talin's look down to the headband conspiracy.
Well, we know there was no Dominion War, so it was inside job, so, you know. Where is that guy? Didn't they give him a name last time?
They did. It was in the last episode. Can't remember.
But as a final note as well, if we can get another 7 likes and $25, you guys will help us really, as you often do, end the season on a bang. Well, okay, I'll ignore that because they just fine. If we can get like 80,
let's just do our final things.
Okay,
I'll do mine first, as always.
Okay.
I loved this episode. It was action packed, good pace, a lot of great ship battles. Amazing to see some cool tactics with the warp core ejection and warp. That was awesome. And Buen Amigo got what was coming to him, so good. I thought the ending, or we'll wrap up with Mariner, was a little bit quick and hasty, and no Jennifer in there. But honestly, with the way Jennifer kind of turned on Mariner without actually talking to her, Mariner can do better. So, quick wrap up. Score-wise, for this season, I'm going to give it a 8.7 out of 10. For all lower decks, I'll probably go with 7.7. There you go. How about you, sir?
Yeah, better second watch. It's good, but not amazing. It might even qualify as great, but the ending, the wrap-up feel is a bit too final. The Mariner thing seems unnecessary in the grand scheme when you watch the two parts back-to-back. The Breen don't come back in a meaningful way, which is a bit sad. The twists are a bit predictable, but still good. The Rutherford thing does work reasonably well. The space shots are great. The battle's great. It's a little bit stoppy and starty, maybe, pace-wise. But that was better second time because you're sort of along with the ride. You know, like the Sovereign appears and then leaves. You know, there's things that happen and stop, You know, it's fine. But the strategy's good. The warp core direction's good. All the characters are good. But they had to give enough room for the main story to give not a lot to some of the characters. But very good. Happy to Lynn's back, as we said. And it felt like a very broad episode. Yeah, it felt like a broad episode without as much depth on the characters it could have had.
Yeah. I want to make one more point for my wrap up. The soundtrack, the music in this episode was amazing. It was pretty much all like action-packed music, and it was very well done. And I usually don't notice the musical scores as much. This one really stood out to me and was very action. So
I recognize they used similar action music from previous seasons, which I like. They have good music in general. I wouldn't say I noticed it, but I'm glad you did. It's good music in general, and I didn't know specifically. Score-wise, I think you were very fair. Score-wise, I don't know if I'd be that different. I think I'll go a little bit lower just because I'm a little bit less favourable, but not much lower. I just, like I said, have high expectations. For this season, it's definitely one of the best. Was this one better than last week? Like, I already know your answer, but you tell me, just not knowing your answer, what would you say?
Trying to remember what happened last week.
The Breen, the attack, the flyby.
No, I almost prefer last week's better.
Okay.
But this was a good... Like, this is a two-parter, so...
Which I did say, this one would make that one better or worse. I think it makes it better.
It does make it better.
But not by a lot. It rounds it rather than enhances it, I think. For me, I think I'll give this season a 8.3. And I think for this all of season, I guess 7.5. I don't think I can go lower than 7.5. So top 25%, but that's, I guess, because of the scope of the episode. Yeah. Really hard one to score, actually. Yeah. But there you go. There you go.
Well, let's look at some of your scores, Super Chat wise. We got Patrick James with $20.
Ah.
So thank you so much.
Yes.
10 out of 10. I am still smiling.
Ah.
Perfect.
Okay. Good stuff.
Stephen Fathry, $5, otherwise known as Text Trek.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trekyards, for another great season of Trek coverage. We will be discussing this episode and the
Prodigy shit.
Prodigy premiere on the Text Trek channel in 2 hours. So go check out Text Trek.
And if Star Trek and if Starfleet Boy is there, then he was on the channel recently, so go check out his unique vibe.
Area 51, $5. Decloaks. Hey guys. We were at Area 51.
No, say it again.
Yeah. We here at Area 51. Apologize for repeating it.
Good.
SVS Guru 2000, €5. Jennifer was just too ashamed of herself to talk to Mariner.
Yes.
I'd like to think so.
Yes. Yeah. Dear me. And I will just shamelessly plug my own thing for the Trek Shorts Indiegogo. Still on Indiegogo right now. Go check out the perks, etc. We have a teaser coming out tomorrow for one of our up-and-coming films, because we want to try and show you what else we have going on, as if the previous things wasn't enough. So I will post on the Trekyards page. This one, it features a very famous legacy item of Trek lore that's very famous. I don't know if any fan film's done it yet. And I've been doing a teaser today. So check that out. Support if you can. We need a lot more money to function. It'd be sad to have to cancel the rest of the films, since I've already put money into most of them. So support if you can.
Want to read the non-Super Chat scores?
I do. What do people say? They say 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Okay. Less than I thought. You guys put in your Super Chat ones. And also Bill says, when's the breakdown for Prodigy? Stuart, when's the breakdown for Prodigy?
Tonight at 10 o'clock, I'm doing my hangout, my first reaction hangout live. So check that out at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it'll be Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we'll do that. And then the following Friday, we'll be back on track, because one episode to talk about. So
yes. Yeah. And tomorrow will be the ed review, along with the ship video. We'll double whammy you, despite the slight editing annoyance. But yeah, double whammy. That's all good.
All right, guys. I think that's it. This was a great finale, a great live, and we really appreciate you guys for showing up. And join us on Monday for the Prodigy discussion and breakdown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, lots of good stuff to talk about already. And we've got lots of content prepped and ready to go. And it's a good show. Go and watch it and support. And there may or may not be some Protostar-based things coming from us.
There you go.
Yeah.
And on that stinger,
yes,
we will say goodbye.
And thank you, everyone. Make an epic end of season finale. Thank you. Makes a huge difference to us for realsies, as you guys know.
And tune into our Trekyards on tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, on tomorrow, when we're going to go back at the mall and force feed us alcohol and say, when we get back to season 3, episode 10, how we really feel.
All right. So until then, he's Commander Cocky.
He's Captain Foley. Bye, guys.
Bye.